Chasing happiness, running through the rain, turning all the little things into something great. With every heartbeat, we're finding our way. This is the moment, today's the day.
Welcome back to another episode of Chasing Happiness. Today we're talking to Laura about her mental health struggles and her journey. Laura, where to start?
No, I think like you, it was probably teenage years and just not knowing what was going on. I wouldn't have had a great time in school.
Yeah.
Like I'm one of those people, I can talk all day to anybody. Like I'm just going to like you. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do. If you're a decent human, I'm going to like you. So I never fell into, the sporty friends or the smart people. I could talk to anybody. And that wasn't a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I think as a teenage girl in an all-girls school, that came across as fake. Because who were her loyalties with?
Yeah.
So it ended up then, let's bully her, So I had to transfer out of my first secondary school because of that. And I think part of me then, when I started feeling not right, was, oh, well, I'm just moving schools. Like I have no friends.
Yeah.
And what if I don't make friends in the next school? And all of this kind of building up. So I was like, I'm just a typical teenager going through hardship.
Yeah.
Moved school, and hilariously enough, actually made friends, I think, within like the first 5 minutes of being there. So evidently it was the school was at fault, not me. But it was one of those things, and I find it funny now when I'm explaining to people, like not haha funny, just like stupid funny.
Yeah.
I never felt like I fit in a place so well while still feeling so completely lost. And I don't know how else I can explain that to anybody.
Yeah.
I literally, looking back now, I'm like, I know I should have been happy. And I feel like even in those moments, I knew I should have been happy.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't. Like I was laughing and I was joking. But inside I was like, I am faking this to the max. And like, I want to be happy around you. I want to enjoy your presence. But literally, I also just want to lock myself in a room and ignore the fact that the whole entire world exists.
Yeah.
And I think that was the start of it for me. But I didn't know, like most people, what was going on, how to get out of it, how do I deal with this?
Yeah.
And it got to a point for me where I did what I mastered doing from a very young age of when something's wrong, run away.
Run. Yeah.
Just run. Doesn't matter where you run to. So it was when I was about kind of 19, 20, that's when everything just in my head was getting way too much. And there was no off button.
Yeah.
How I describe it to people, I know you described it your way in the last episode, how I describe it to people was I literally felt like I was underwater and somebody was holding me down. And I knew all I had to do was just get up a little bit and I could get air.
Yeah.
But because this person was standing on top of me, holding me down, I physically couldn't move past that.
Like that weight that was just keeping you down.
Yeah. And it didn't matter what I did. It didn't matter how much I kicked, screamed, splashed. Nobody could see me because I'm hidden under the water. You're seeing the person on top. So you think everything is fine. So that started like just getting too much. And then when you can't make sense of it, how do you explain it to other people? And that's what I was going through. On top of having this feeling of I was around people that I knew I should be happy around, that I, wanted to be around, but also didn't want near me at all. And then that spiraled into, is this not contagious? That's not the word, but like, as in, can I give it to them? Like, am I going to drag them down with me? So for me, it was just push them all away.
Yeah. It was just easier.
And run.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of people who were around me then, they had no clue what was going on.
Yeah.
Because I literally woke up one morning and was like, yeah, we're done. Like, you can't be in my world.
Yeah.
I don't want you there. And then to make sure they won't come back, it was, what can I do to hurt this person to make them hate me? So they won't come back, because they can't, like, they don't understand it.
Yeah.
This is for their good, their protection.
But you see, that was the thing, obviously, you had been dealing with for a long time within your own head. So to them, it was probably out of nowhere.
Yeah, because I was, like you, the queen of masking it.
Yeah. You just become accustomed to it. Like, you get so good at it, like that no one would notice.
I was nearly buying it sometimes. Like I, for a long time, was like, I'm really, really good. And then out of nowhere, it was just, literally nothing even happened. I just woke up one day and was like, I don't want to do any of this anymore. Like, I'm tired.
Done. Yeah.
I'm done. I'm over. Like, I wasn't sleeping. I had insomnia for years. So I wasn't sleeping at all, which was adding to the whole thing. And then that just spiraled. So yeah, pushed them all away. And my version of running is not just, we'll go for a little jog. I took off to Australia.
You left the country.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to make you hate me, and then I'm going to pack my bags and go.
Yeah.
And then you can all move on. By the time I come back, hopefully I'll have dealt with it.
See, that's, in a sense, you didn't want to deal with it. Like, so
No.
You were going to make these people that were quite close to you hate you, so you wouldn't have to deal with letting them down or anything like that.
Yeah.
And just go.
Yeah.
And just gone.
And my mentality is I do have a very self-destructive mentality, and I'm aware of this now.
Yeah.
Back then I wasn't. So back then I was like, if they hate me, it's easy for them. I never thought of it's going to be hell for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't take on, this is going to kill me. I took on, this is saving you. We'll do it.
Yeah.
So like, I will say what I have to say to make you absolutely detest me as a human being.
Yeah.
And I was very good at it. I'm still very good at it. If I want to do it, I know I can. And that's what I mean by my self-destructive behavior.
Yeah.
I know I can do it. I shouldn't do it, but then there's times when I'm like, no, I need you to just not be here. But I think now I have a circle of people that are like, oh, she's just having one of those days.
You can literally
just
tell us,
her.
just go.
Yeah.
Just don't talk to me. Yeah.
But yeah, no, so moved to Australia, and for a while everything was fine. But I think I was just so distracted with, I'm in another country. I don't know anybody here because I'm the idiot that went without planning or thinking and did it by myself because
that's smart.
Why not?
Yeah.
When I say run, I take it literal. So yeah, I was trying to find work, was doing my regional work to get my second year visa. Then I'm stubborn as well, and I didn't want to give in to anybody. Everybody thought I wouldn't last in Australia. I wasn't going to, but because I'm so stubborn, I was like, I'm not giving in to people either. I'll stay. I hate it. I don't want to be here.
You wanted to prove a point though.
But I'll stay. Yeah. Which is part of that feeds into this destructive behavior. I will do things just to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Even if it's putting myself in harm's way. We're working on it. And then from there decided, look, we'll go to New Zealand. Maybe I like that. It's more like Ireland. It's not back to Ireland.
Yeah.
So went there, and I remember Miriam, who I've mentioned already, ringing her numerous nights for weeks, just having a meltdown, crying and being like, what have I done? Like, I've destroyed everything. I don't know why I did it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to undo it. Like, this is it now. What do I do? Like, I'm stuck. Do I stay here? Do I come back? Do I try and fix it? Do I leave it alone? Like, what do I do? And nobody can answer that question, because the only person that can know what you have to do is yourself.
Yeah.
So she was just my vent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I put that girl through hell with my vent. So I'm so grateful she's still around. But no, knew while I was there, knew while all this was going on, still didn't know what was wrong. Yeah. But knew it wasn't right. So when I eventually decided to come home, the people that did stick around, the friends that did stick around, were trying to get me out and trying to have me meet new people. And it slowly started getting really overwhelming. And I was like, I actually just don't think I like people.
Yeah.
And like, when I say that, everybody laughs, and I'm like, I really don't think I do.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is, I have realized I'll just pick up on your energy. And that is the worst feeling in the world sometimes, because when there's about 30 people around you,
it's just overwhelming.
And they're all going through these things, and some are feeling really angry, and some are feeling really sad, and some are feeling like wanting to beat the crap out of somebody, and you're feeling all of it.
It's just too much.
It's too much.
Yeah.
So I was home about 2 years, and I was like, okay, look, something's got to give. Yeah. I would have been 25-ish at the time, and I was like, I'm just going to go to cancer. We'll just chance it. Like, worst case scenario, I hate and I don't go back. So it took 9 different therapists for me to find my person. Yeah. Because I'm very weird. In the sense of, I don't want a therapist that's going to like be nicey and
poor thing.
Yeah. Oh, we all have the hardships. Like, I need you to literally kick me up the butt and tell me what's going on. So I found that, and I ended up being diagnosed with PTSD, anxiety, and OCD.
All at once.
Yeah. Well, obviously, it was like over the process of about 2 years, but with the one therapist within those 2 years. Yeah. Well, I just laughed though, because I was like, she had a clue. Yeah. This one, like, I know she went to college, but she failed clearly, because what is she on about? Because for me, OCD was, really, really clean.
Yeah.
If you had seen my bedroom back then, I was not that person.
Yeah.
I'm the person, I knew where everything was.
But you weren't a clean freak.
But like literally, like you just had to watch your step coming in. It was everywhere. But it was more in the things that I had to do. And I still have, I now say tendencies, because I have just decided that I don't want to associate with that diagnosis anymore, because I've come so far. Yeah. I'm like, I feel like if I keep saying I have OCD, I'm locking myself in, whereas I've come so far, but I do have tendencies.
Yeah.
There is certain things I have to do to make sure that I can actually follow through with my day.
Yeah.
So like, for example, I only ever straighten my fringe, which is why I have a mess back here. But like with that, I have to turn on and off the switch repeatedly to know that it's on a certain way, and you won't have a clue what I'm on about, but to me it feels right.
Okay.
And then I have to do the same thing when it comes off, but then I'll have to leave the room, come back in, turn it back on, turn it back off, leave the room. I have to do that numerous times to make sure that it's off, because otherwise I catastrophize it and the whole house is going to burn down. Yeah. Everybody's going to be dead. The insurance aren't going to. That's what my brain will do. So catastrophizing things. It could be even with my thoughts. I can get very obsessed on thoughts.
Yeah.
To the point where I could be having a conversation to you. One word could trigger me, and then I could go back into a conversation that I had with somebody else. But then I'm locked in on it, and this has already happened. But I'll keep going over it and over it and over it and over, and I can't stop.
Yeah, you just wreck your own head by going.
Yeah, because I'm literally obsessed with that thought, and it takes ages for me to pull myself out. So that's the OCD side of things. Then, with the anxiety side of things, I think that's my hardest one still.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the hardest one to explain.
Yeah.
Unless you've been through it, I don't think people actually get. And I think that's why I get so worked up as well when people are like, "Oh, my anxiety." No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Just no. It is so aggravating when I hear people say it, because for me, mine is more social anxiety.
Yeah.
So if I know I'm going to be in a crowded place, I'm stressed before I'm ever there. So you could be like, "Oh, let's go to a concert in 6 months' time." I already hate every ounce of it. I don't want to go. I don't want to be there. Emma's hen in a few weeks.
Yeah.
We're just not talking about it.
We've already gone through this, like, in a little bit, though.
You know, it is hell for me, because I'm like, what if the people around me aren't my people? What if, somebody wants to talk like this and I don't want to engage? And I start, because of my OCD, then spiraling.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where I can literally throw up, because I'll make myself physically sick.
Yeah.
Because I'm just so stressed and anxious about this whole thing, that to a normal, I don't want to say a normal person, but you know what I mean, like person who doesn't have anxiety, you can just go.
Yeah.
And it's easy. And for me, it's an entire process. Like, I have to know where we're going, what we're doing, what time. You can't change the time. It has to be that exact time. What I'm going to eat, what's on the menu. If you change the menu, now you're after completely throwing me for a loop, and I absolutely test everything that's going on. And this is my brain. And I don't think people understand the exhaustion of having to constantly be on edge and know what's going on. And that can go for anything. So like, I have learned with it where my safe things are, or what my safe things are. So as you know, if we're going to the gym, you go first.
Yeah, there's certain things you have to do.
Yeah, because in my head, like, if I walk in, I could get killed. Whereas if you're first, I'm safe.
Dead. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, it's having your rational brain versus your irrational brain, because rationally I know it's safe.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to happen. We're cool.
Yeah.
But then I have the anxious, irrational side that is going to me, you can't, like, literally, if you walk through there, you're going to die.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by a catastrophize. It's not, you might bump into somebody you don't like. It's, you will die. Yeah. That's what's going to happen. Like, you're going to go in there and you're never going to come back out. All of this is going to happen. The whole place is going to collapse. You're going to be stuck.
Yeah. It's quite hard, though, when you are aware that you have your rational brain and you can see that, but you can't help the irrational side.
Yeah.
Because that's the side that you get lost in.
Yeah.
And you can't bring it back to the rational side where you're just like, I'm just walking into a gym.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do to actually bring yourself back to that point.
Like, so yeah, so I have like grounding techniques that I try. Like there's different things I have to do. Obviously, I'm a mum, I have to go shop, I have to take my children places. So there's things that like will help. If we have to go to the doctor, I just have to be there 30 minutes early. Literally, so I can park and then ground myself and be like, okay, we're going to go in, we're going to walk upstairs. I have to go through the process before I do the process. And then obviously I'm doing it trying to hide this side from my children because I don't want them to pick up on it.
No, yeah.
Which makes it harder. But I have things like that. I know if you go in first, or if I'm meeting you at a pub, just come out and meet me.
Yeah.
I know the things that are going to help make things easier. But also as an almost 35-year-old person, it's irritating because I'm like, I'm a grown-ass adult that's acting like a child. And you don't understand it. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, you know, as I said, I'm just anxious. I'm just this. You're not. Like, I get physically frozen. And I know other people who have anxiety, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
You physically can't do this thing.
What you want to do.
Yeah, like you can just walk into a shop. I can't.
Yeah.
I literally will be in my car thinking about it. If I'm on my phone talking to somebody, it's a distraction, so I can do it. But if I just get up and walk in, it's literally like somebody has glued my feet to wherever I am. I can't move. Yeah. And it's not me thinking I can't. I physically can be like, come on, let's go. You got this. Yeah. Just one step, one step, and I can't. I'm stuck.
There's a lot more behind the simple tasks that like we would take for granted. Yeah. Like you take one simple thing and it's quite tough. And there's a whole thought process that goes along with it.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of people, when I tell them that, they're like,
what?
You?
Yeah.
Have you met yourself? And I'm like, I live there. I think even for like you at the start, it would have been a lot of she's flying it in life. Like she's on top of the world the whole time. I'm a very bubbly, you know,
out there kind of person.
Yeah. Yeah. Who like I do explain myself as a walking contradiction because I am. Yeah. I'm very loud. I'm very opinionated. I don't typically care about what you think about me. There we go. But then I have this whole other side. And I think that currently where I am with my mental health journey is I just don't know who I am because I'm such a contradiction to myself.
But I think then also when you spend a lot of your life struggling and coming to terms with all these different things and trying to learn how to deal with it, that kind of takes over. And then when you get to a point that you've mastered that, then you're like, oh, who am I? What do I do? What do I want to do? Like, how do I move forward? Because you've spent so long figuring all that out. That's done then. And then you're just left going, oh, what now?
You know? Yeah. And then as well to try and hide it because of the fact that you didn't, like we said in your episode, you didn't talk about it back then. You didn't draw attention to any shortcomings or issues that you were having.
Yeah.
I learned ways to hide it or to mask it.
Yeah.
So I learned it's easier for me to just be who you want or what you need than it is for me to be me, because me is a lot. You know, I'm this person that, as I said, has to think through everything a million times over, dissect it and see if we're safe or not. Or I can just be who you want me to be. So you want me to be loud, I'll be loud.
So it's just easier to...
Yeah. So it started becoming... I don't even think I noticed it up until recently that I do it.
Yeah.
If we were out like and you're a loud person, I'll be loud. Yeah. If then I moved on. So like if you imagine like speed dating. This is the easiest way to explain it, right? Because you've got all these different personalities. I'm the one moving, not the person across from me. So I'm sitting down with the first person, they're really quiet. I can be really quiet.
Yeah.
I'll match you.
Okay.
So then I'll move on to the next person. They're really loud, really bubbly. Let's go do shots. Let's be crazy.
You can do that.
Cool, I've got you.
Yeah.
Then you get to the next person and they're angry and they want to hurt somebody. And I'm like, okay, who we fighting?
Yeah.
You know, I'll just mirror who you are. But it's exhausting because then I come away and I'm like, you all have this different version of me. And you're all correct.
You don't even have the actual version.
Yeah. Every single one of you is right. Every version you've met of me is correct. That's who I am to you.
Yeah.
But then when I come home and I'm with myself, I'm like, oh, but who am I supposed to be now?
Who do I mask
I'm
now?
here all
Like,
by myself. I'm a wall.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know. And that's what I've been spending the last while in therapy trying to figure out is who am I at the base of things? Like, what do I want out of life? What do I need? And we haven't figured it out yet. I think we're still at the point of just trying to, get a handle on my PTSD, get a handle on my anxiety is a big one for me because I don't ever want my boys to have to struggle as much as I do.
Yeah.
And because it's such a process for me to go anywhere, I'm worried that obviously they'll pick up on how much I'm struggling and then be like, oh, maybe we should be analysing this. Maybe there's a reason she's scared. Maybe we should do this.
So do you think having your boys is kind of pushing you in a sense to...
Yeah, so like as I said, I started therapy at 25 and I think it was one of those things when I started to feel somewhat good. I was like, oh, I'm better.
Yeah.
I'm fixed. I'm complete. And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And that was heaven for me. Everybody else hated it. I loved it. I couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I couldn't meet anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't have to speak to people. That was...
Ideal.
For an anxious person, that is everything we've ever craved in life, is to just be left alone and have a reason to not be able to do things. It was amazing. But then I think pregnancy triggered it because I didn't have a good pregnancy with Lorgan. We had a lot of scares. And then obviously going through it all on your own because Owen wasn't allowed to come in.
No.
I had to, in a sense, be the strong one because I was like, well, if something is wrong,
you have to face the appointments on your own. So
I have to go in. I have to get through this on my own. But then I also have to help him through it in a second because he's going to know from the phone call. And that was my head going into it. Because we were having so many scares, every time I went into an appointment, I was like, they're going to ring him and he's going to know there's something wrong.
Yeah.
So I have to get over myself fast and be there for him because this is worse for him. You know? It wasn't. If something went wrong, it was bad for both of us.
Yeah.
But for me, I was like, but I got the information from a doctor. He's getting it through a phone call.
Yeah.
So I think that was just another layer of adding to my anxiety and, the confusion and what was going on and realizing I'm still not putting me first.
I was just going to say, do you think that was kind of the same traits that you would have had when you were younger? In the running, you were more concerned about everyone else by yourself. Yeah. So even in a situation...
It's just easier for me because I'm like, if I'm so focused on you and fixing you, I don't even have to acknowledge that I'm broken. Yeah. But then once he eventually came out and was born and was healthy and was crying, literally, I had that, do you know the first moment, because you're a mum, of you're like, as a baby, look what I created. I had that. And I was so excited, so overwhelmed, and in this love bubble. And then when Owen left later on that night, it was about like 10:30 at night, and I was on my own. I feel like every single possible emotion just came down, and I was like, I had a baby. Yeah. Holy crap. Yeah. Like now I have to be good. Like now it's not a choice anymore. I can't hide it. I can't mask it. Like I have to fix this because I have to do everything in my power on this whole planet, in this universe, to give you the best I can possibly give you. Yeah. And I'm not doing that. Bad timing. Bad timing, because obviously you've got the emotions, you've got, the baby blues, you've got all of this while having this child, while realizing, okay,
there's a lot going on in your head. Like, yeah.
And then I couldn't verbalize it. I still struggle, I think, to this day a lot of times, even in my counseling sessions, to say what's going on, because sometimes there's just such an overwhelming amount of thoughts that I'm like, where do I start though? Like how I can't grab one to pull it down and be like,
so
okay,
much you.
But I do think having Lorgan was kind of literally the last, like that little nail in the coffin of, okay, we're just not doing this. Like I have to, I just have to parent now, because it was, when I come back to anxiety and talk about that, it was to the point of, if we to go to the doctors, Owen had to come. I wasn't, maybe it was obviously the hormones and stuff, but I wasn't in a place in my head where I could bring my own child. Yeah. So we paused and edited because I just had a little bit of an emotional meltdown, but we're good. But yeah, no, it's for me, not being able to take my child to, the doctors on my own, or make a phone call on my own, or any of these things. It was like, how can I be a good mom if all of these things are like holding me back, and I can't parent.
Yeah.
And that was what it came down to. I couldn't parent. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't function. I was just, I was having Owen have to look after me the way I should have been looking after Lorgan, was kind of the thing. He had to make the phone calls. He had to be there.
Yeah.
He had to talk to the adults in the room. And there was like different points, because obviously, as you know, like Lorgan has had 4 surgeries now. So there was different points where we had to be in hospital, where I was like, I have to bring him. Owen can't get out of work.
Yeah.
How do I talk to a smart person like a surgeon, or how do I talk to the nurses?
You did it though.
I did, and I think it was those things of just going, I have to, like, this is for my child.
When you don't have a choice, it's there.
Yeah. Owen physically cannot get off right now to come. Suck it up and go.
Yeah.
And then obviously we had a couple of issues, and they did want to perform another surgery that he ended up not needing.
Yeah.
And I think that was my kind of like pat myself on the back moment, because I just didn't understand what was going on. And I was like, but I don't know why there's another one. Like, you told me this one was good. Why are we having another one? And the person in front of me didn't even know what he's talking about. He brought up the previous surgery, and I was like, you're talking about the wrong freaking thing.
Yeah.
And that's when I lost it. And I was like, do you know what? No, I need your boss.
Yeah.
And inside, I probably was outside as well. I was shaking. I ended up actually having to go to the bathroom shortly after to throw up, ringing Owen, bawling my eyes out, because the anxiety just got too much. And he's like, but you did it. And I'm like, I know, but that was horrendous. Why would people choose this? But got the head of surgery, spoke to him, and found out none of this should have happened.
Yeah.
And I remember Owen being like, if we didn't push, we could have put him through another surgery that would have been dangerous. That was where it was going. If he'd got this, it would have been very bad for him. And realizing, okay, you need to keep doing this. Like, now you're protecting him. If I hadn't done that and pushed past the anxiety, as horrendous as it was for me, I could have given him a surgery he didn't need. That was going to cause more drama. So then I think, like, to me, that was a huge thing. To normal people, they're like, that was such a small thing. I was like, I just took on, like, who is it? Goliath, and beat him. But realizing that, and realizing I can, it's hell for me, but I can do it. Then I started following that through and being like, okay, now I'm going to tell Owen we're going to the doctor. I'm just going to go. I'm going to ring them. And like, I still have to, have the full conversation in my head. So I'm like, hi, I'm Laura. I just need to book a doctor's appointment for today.
I think that is quite a normal thing that a lot of people do struggle with, because I would know a lot of like adults our age that would struggle with making simple phone calls, that would struggle with things like that, because they're like, I can't talk, I'm not an adult, like, I can't do that. I don't know what it is, but it's just the fear of talking on the phone and being like, hi, my name is this, like, I need to do this, like, we just don't want to do. We can't.
No,
like,
I'm like, just, text me, voice note me, leave me, get my response, and I'll come back, but don't give me a phone call. No. Do you know? I'm one of those people, like, the memes on TikTok and stuff of, if you ring somebody and they don't answer, you'll win €1 million. Who would you ring? Me. I'm not going to answer the phone. You're stressing me out.
The memes. Memes.
Oh, memes. Sorry. You knew what I meant. But yeah, no, I was doing like little things like that and slowly overcoming my anxiety.
And like pushing yourself to have to.
Yeah. But then went on, had another child. Because, when you're struggling with mental health, let's mess up hormones.
Add another one.
Let's mess up hormones. And I think that just due to his labor, that was just another kick backwards for me. Like, I was doing so well, and then nobody around me wanted to believe that I was in labor. And I was like, no, like, the kid's coming out.
Yeah. No.
I push and he's going to be here. And everybody's like, no, your age is away. So I think then going back into a space of almost not trusting myself, because these are trained professionals. They telling
know what
me.
They're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. But inside me feeling like, no, that I'm telling you what I'm feeling. Why are you not listening? That triggered it. And then I ended up having a spontaneous birth. So I went into labor and he was born all within 3 hours. So nobody was listening to me. It was all really, really fast. I wasn't expecting him at that moment in time. So it was just the shock of it. And then that amplified my anxiety, because I was like, oh, well, if this could happen so quickly, what if I wasn't here? What if I couldn't have gotten to the hospital?
Yeah.
What if they didn't listen to me? What if I had been on the toilet? And I
It just
started,
triggered.
I started going back into all these worst case scenario moments. Then when he was 6 weeks old, he got hospitalized with bronchiolitis and early RSV. So we were obviously, my tiny little precious baby is now in hospital with like a tube up his nose and all these different things. And I'm like, this is why I stress. This is why I stress. Yeah. So it almost gave me a reason to be okay with being anxious again. So everything I've done,
it was validating it really, because you're like, this is exactly why I thought this, this happened.
All the work I'd done to try and park it, this proved there's a reason why you're like this. Like, it's okay to be like this. You're good being like this. So that made it 10 times harder. Because everything, like if he got a little bit of a runny nose, I'm like, oh, he's getting RSV again, if we have to bring him back to the hospital, like he's going to get sick if we don't bring him back, he'll die.
Yeah.
So I ended up being diagnosed then with postnatal anxiety.
Yeah.
So it was my anxiety times a million.
Yeah.
It got worse because I went straight to, not I was going to hurt somebody, but you can't mind my child because you're going to hurt my child. I can't leave my child alone because you can't do it. But it, like, even for Owen, and it got hard for him, I'd imagine, because even leaving him with them, I was like, but like, are you sure you're good?
Are you good? Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I needed a good night's sleep, I'd stay awake because I'm like, but what if you don't wake? What if you like, what if?
Yeah.
And it became exhausting. So obviously, as you know, when you're a mum to a new child with a toddler, you need as much sleep as you can get. And I physically could not sleep because I was like, nobody can do it as good as I can.
What if?
Yeah. You know, literally, it could be the smallest thing of what if Owen doesn't heat the bottle to the right temperature. They can drink it cold.
They can.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? What if he doesn't?
Not roasting.
Good, like. What if he doesn't feed them the right amount? What if he feeds them too much, too little? All like such
small things, really.
Small, silly, insignificant things that to me, I just could not let go of. So like we had, I think it was like a mixture of the stressful years in the sense of having COVID, having a baby, getting married, having a baby, moving house.
A lot at once.
Everything at once. And then it literally got to a point last year we had just signed the
lease.
No, because I bought it. We had just signed on buying the house.
Is that not a lease? No?
No, a lease is when you're renting.
Oh.
Yeah. So we just signed off on the paperwork to buy the house. And I literally just looked at Owen and I was like, everything is done now. And he's like, what? And I was like, we've had our kids. We've gotten married. We have a house.
Yeah.
I have to go back to therapy. And he was like, because no mention before this. I'd never brought it up. I'd never thought about it. I just said it. And he was like, what? And I was like, everything is good now. And you're enjoying it. I hate it.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm just existing in this world again. I've fallen back to, like, not that I wasn't happy. I adore my kids. You know how much I adore my kids. Like, my kids are the best thing on the planet and nobody's going to convince me otherwise. But I'd fallen into, it was just wake up, do your jobs, get things done, go to bed. Wake up, do your jobs, get things done, go to bed.
Same routine. It just becomes normal, like of just feeling in this like rush.
Exactly.
You don't even realize that you're in it. Until, like, you're well in there and you're like, I've just been doing this for forever.
Yeah. And I just was like, I didn't want to bring it up to him because he was working so hard trying to get us a house. We were looking for these houses. I didn't want him to think I wasn't okay because I'm a stay-at-home parent.
Yeah.
So it was all these different things. So then once everything settled and we had the house, I was like, I need to fix me now.
Yeah.
Like I need that hour to just figure out what's going on and fix me.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing, you know, going to therapy and trying to figure it out. And like, I think part of me knows I'm always going to have anxiety.
Yeah.
I'm always going to have triggers from the PTSD. I'm always going to have a little few OCD tendencies. But now I can actually say, like, yeah, I get moments where I'm going to cry because I don't want to ever think about the bad things that can happen to my children or have happened to my children. But I think overall, then I have these other moments of complete clarity and complete, like, life is really good.
Do you think you can manage it? It sounds like you can manage it a lot more now.
Yeah, I think as well, I want to.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think for so long I was good with just being good with anxiety.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm frustrated because I'm like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want it at all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay having a few bits because, you know, that keeps me heightened and I know I'm safe and I know I'm keeping my boys safe.
Yeah.
But I don't want to literally be in bed being like, did I lock all the windows and doors? Are we safe? Is somebody going to break in? Is all the outside doors locked? I don't want to do that spiral.
Yeah.
I want to go, we're going to bed.
And then that's it, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm kind of enjoying the frustration at it because I know I can do more. I know I can get way better again, you know? And then obviously I have all of you around me and like such a good circle of people that just, you just don't judge it, you know, when you, if and when you notice it, you're just like, oh, it's just there.
I think though that all of us have kind of gone through our own stuff that we're kind of more heightened, that we each have our own thing.
Yeah.
You included. And we know kind of how to tell that or read that off of you. You know how to read me. We know how to all read each other, that we're like, they just need a minute, or they need, like what you said, like you need us to do certain things to help you and things like that. I think we're all just aware of that it makes it easier.
And nobody ever kind of bangs on about it. Like,
we're not
if we're going somewhere
there, like
because even for the hint now, I've been like, okay, you need to meet me here, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to, and I have a plan.
There's a lot of planning gone into it already,
and you're
behind
not
the scenes.
Exactly, and you've never been like, oh, will she just shut up and show up and enjoy it? You're like, yeah, okay, cool, that's fine. It's not, why are you talking about it again? And I think because all of us is so aware and allows each other to be that little bit extra special, that we're all like, I think special is a good word.
We are all very special in our own way.
But I'm also really aware of the things that I have to do. You know, I know that grounding for me is the best thing possible. So like, you've seen it when you're out here. I think my neighbors think I'm psychotic. Me and my kids never wear socks and shoes.
Yeah, you're just trapped around the place.
I put these on solely for the video. But we're always outside and spend as much time as we can outside barefoot, just so I can ground. I know that the river is really, really good for me and really, really good at bringing me back and allowing me time where my brain isn't functioning or having these thoughts. So I'm outside a lot. I'm listening to the rain a lot. I can sit outside. Like, even one of the videos I put up on our social media is just me sitting outside, being fully dry, listening to the rain, because there are moments where I can literally go, okay, we don't need to think. We don't have to have a thought. We're going to switch off.
You found what works for you.
Like, yeah. And I think now, as much as I'm still trying to figure out, you know, who I am at the core of everything, I think I know the things that I need, and the things that I need are just calm and peace. And
I think you get to a point in your life though where you just crave that, you know, just an ease, like just a life full of like ease and not like constant turmoil of dealing with crap. Where you just want the peace, you just want the quiet, you want the people you need around you, and that's it. And that's all you need.
But even for like dealing with people, I think that finding that has been really, really good, because sometimes, as I said, because I'm a person who mirrors you, sometimes there's still people in my circle who just say something and I know it's just to trigger me, and I'm like, not my monkey, not my circus, not today.
Not today.
Do you know? And I'm like,
today.
Okay.
We send a lot of voice notes to each other. We're just like, today's just a day. Just not today. Not today. That's what we always go back to. We're just like, today's today. It's like, no.
But I think it's good to be that self-aware as well for both of us, where we're like, no, today is not the day to do any of this.
I like to call them like survival days. Sometimes you just need to get through and then start again tomorrow.
Or like that, like, because even yesterday you got a full-on rant off me, and I remember ending it being like, I don't even know why I'm ranting, but I need to get it out of me. So I think having a person where you can do that, where you can just be, you know, no sugarcoating, like 100% authentically yourself, whether it's crying, being angry, laughing hysterically at something stupid, no matter what it is, you can just get these emotions. I think that has been a real big help for me as well, because I'm not a person, as you have seen, who shares things easily. I'm not a person that deals with my emotions. I hate emotions as a whole. Like, I don't enjoy crying. But like, when I say I hate emotions, not just mine. I don't like other people's emotions. You know, I struggle to deal with it, because if you're crying, I'm like,
they're there.
What do you want me to do? because
cry.
I'm not affectionate. I'm not going to cuddle you.
No, I am the exact same. I'm like, I'm not
Yeah,
touching
I'm
you.
like, I'm so awkward. So literally, somebody's bawling. I'm like, you're okay.
Yeah, what do I say?
Are,
In my head going,
are you nearly done?
that's it, like.
From talking to Meg though about things, I think a lot of that from what she said comes from I've worked so hard to never show emotion so that everybody thinks I'm the strong one.
Yeah.
And you do. Like everybody in my circle, I'm the one you go to for advice or for a vent or for this. And I've just been built to be the shoulder that everybody leans on, that it's like, oh, but if they see me weak, then where will they go?
Yeah.
So I still kind of have that mentality of I have to keep it together for everybody else to be okay. You know, so I'll take it all on.
Yeah.
I'll hurt me so that you're good. So I know I have to work on that, but also then cry alone. You know what I mean?
Don't cry near me, please.
I don't
Please
need
and
that.
thank you.
Yeah. And if you need a cuddle, wrong person, wrong human, not today.
Don't touch me.
Yeah.
So like you mentioned, you've kind of struggled since you were a teenager and now you're in your 30s. So that's been a large chunk of your life that you have struggled with some form of like mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you feel you're at now? Looking back on your journey and what you've gone through to where you are now, where do you feel that you're at with your overall mental health journey? Like,
yeah, I feel like I'm not there yet, but I feel like I've finally started to find peace in it.
Yeah.
And I think I'm one of those weirdos that I'm not angry at the journey. I know a lot of people resent the things that have happened to them or any of the hardships that have happened to them, and they're like, whatever it is, from having this trauma in their lives, from a certain thing happening, from losing a person, going through grief. I think for me, I was so angry at it for so long, and now I'm like, it's actually probably one of my biggest strengths that I had to go through all this, because it has made me more willing to be understanding of other people.
Yeah.
It has helped me be a better parent because, like we were saying in your episode, you're allowed to have emotions.
Yeah.
Have them. You want to have a meltdown?
Go for it. Yeah.
Let's sit back and enjoy it. I think you've heard Lorgan on like different voice notes I've sent you and everything, but like, I'm just having a day. But it's helped me to understand it enough to be able to go to him, have a day.
Yeah.
If you need to take a day where you just pause life and you sit down and you do nothing, take that. Whereas I feel like before, I felt like if I did that, I was a failure, or I wasn't being, productive enough, or I wasn't doing this. Whereas now I'm able to sit back and go, you know what? No, I'm recharging.
I'm allowed.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I can do this. There is nothing wrong with me doing this. I also have been able, because of it all, to learn to put boundaries in place. So if I know something is mentally not good enough for me, I just won't do it.
Yeah.
Like if I have to meet new people, bring them to my house because I'm in my safe space.
Yeah.
We're good. If I don't like them, it's my house. You can leave now. You know what I mean? I've learned like where to put boundaries in place to make things safe for me so that life can be enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I think then as well, I've become okay with the mental health diagnoses that I've been given.
Yeah.
I think for a long time, I just didn't want to be this anxious person. I don't want to have anxiety.
Yeah.
I don't want to have OCD tendencies. I don't want to have the triggers that set me back with the PTSD. I don't want them, but I'm no longer angry at having the diagnosis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think now that I understand it, and now that I know that this is just a way for my body to deal with it, and my body has been keeping me safe. My mind has been keeping me safe. I think that has allowed me to, be okay with it, and be okay with knowing that I am just a little bit different. I'm a little bit more special than other people.
That's not a bad thing.
It's fine.
Yeah.
No, and I think that people who overcome mental health struggles in any way, shape, or form, I think they're the heroes in life, because until you have had to walk through the darkest period of your life and get through it, I don't think you'll ever know how hard it is.
No.
For other
Ever,
people.
like ever. There's nothing you could even say to try and make someone understand.
Nothing. No, you have to physically go through it. And then it has helped me as well. Like, I'm still highly opinionated and can be judgmental, but it's helped me do it in a way more kind way.
Yeah.
And when I say opinionated and judgmental, it's if you ask my opinion, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to do it in a way that I know I'm not going to hurt your feelings. So like when you put on clothes and send me videos, I'm like, no,
not today.
Do you know? And you're like, but why? Just
no.
Whereas before, I would have been like, that is the most horrendously vile thing that has ever been put out of a word. Or what I've learned, I can still be me and the opinionated person and give my judgments, but I can do it in a kind way. And if it doesn't need it, keep it.
Yeah.
Like if a person's not affecting my world, I'm not going to even have a thought process about them. And I think that was something I struggled with, but that was more from a, when you're, do you know the way there's the saying, hurt people hurt people? I think I'd look at other people's lives and see someone really, really happy and be like, well, look at the state of her.
Yeah.
Because I was angry because why are you happy but I can't be? Yeah. Whereas I've learned now to just be good and be grateful for the little things, so it could literally be my blueberry tree outside and I'm like, oh, I don't have to go to the shop for blueberries. I have blueberries. How exciting. Or, when it's raining, being really, really grateful for the fact that I do have a home and I have a roof over my head. And not wanting these big things anymore. Being okay and being at peace with just being.
Yeah.
I think that that's something that has taken that full 20-year block for me to learn, like that it's just the little things that I'm good with. I don't need
everything else.
I don't need everything else. I don't want everything else. I'm good with this, and the struggles that I've gone through have made me a better human, a better friend, a better daughter, and a hell of a better mother. So as weird as it sounds, I'm actually kind of grateful for it all. But you can take it back whenever you want,
Whenever, yeah.
But and I think for anybody who is struggling, that to just realize it can get better.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's finding your people.
Yeah.
It's keeping your circle small, and it's knowing your boundaries and your limits. And if you can't go past them,
that's it.
Don't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Today is not the day.
No.
You'll get there eventually. Today's not the day, and that's okay. And if you have the right people around you, it's just going to make everything a million times easier.
Yeah, so thanks for sharing, Laura, your story and being so honest and open with us. We appreciate it massively. Thank you. So yeah, that is today. Join us next week for another episode. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.